Have you ever wondered why some passengers step off a 12-hour flight looking refreshed while others emerge exhausted and disoriented? The answer lies not in the destination, but in a single crucial element that transforms your entire journey. At 35,000 feet, racing through time zones at 500 miles per hour, your seat becomes more than mere furniture. It's your personal sanctuary. Bed, office, and dining room, all engineered into one carefully designed space. The modern business class cabin represents decades of fierce competition, continuous innovation, and occasionally spectacular design failures. Airlines worldwide have invested billions of dollars attempting to crack the code of passenger comfort, yet not all have succeeded equally. Some configurations have genuinely redefined luxury travel and set new industry standards, while others have left passengers questioning how they ever received certification approval. The global business class market is now valued at over $30 billion annually, with airlines recognizing that premium cabin revenue often determines their profitability. Today, we are retaking you on an eye-opening journey through the best and worst business class seats currently flying our skies, examining what works, what doesn't, and why these differences matter more than you might think. The most puzzling designs ever created. Let's begin with something truly extraordinary in the world of aviation design. Imagine boarding your flight, settling into what appears to be a perfectly normal business class seat, and then discovering a bizarre secret when you recline for sleep. On Philippine Airlines Airbus A330 high-density configuration aircraft and Royal Air Maroc, Boeing 787-8 planes, passengers encounter a configuration that defies conventional logic and spatial reasoning. The 222 layout looks entirely standard when upright, but transforms dramatically into something remarkably unusual when converted to sleeping mode. Window seats elevate to an upper-level position, while aisle seats descend dramatically lower, creating what essentially becomes a two-tier sleeping arrangement within the same cabin. Window passengers find themselves sleeping at shoulder height, two standing passengers walking the aisle, while their aisle neighbors rest so close to the floor they could practically touch the carpet beneath them. This unconventional approach creates a peculiar challenge during the flight. How exactly does the lower passenger navigate over their elevated neighbor without performing impressive gymnastics? The upper berth does offer unexpected privacy, since you genuinely can't see the passenger below. But this remains one of aviation's most questionable and perplexing design experiments that somehow made it into commercial service. The middle seat problem reaches business class. Economy passengers have long accepted the uncomfortable reality of being squeezed between two strangers on long-haul flights across oceans and continents. It's an unpleasant but understood compromise for affordable travel that gets you from point A to point B. However, imagine paying premium prices, often 2 to 3 times economy fares, for business class, only to discover you still trapped in a dreaded middle seat with neighbors pressed against you on both sides. This isn't a hypothetical nightmare scenario, but a genuine configuration found on numerous Boeing 777 aircraft operating today across multiple continents and major routes. Emirates, Ethiopian Airlines, Turkish Airlines, Korean Air, Philippine Airlines, and Egypt Air still operate older 777s with the outdated 232 business class layouts that were standard in the early 2000s. These aircraft entered service during the late 2000s and early 2000s, and they've now reached their midlife point where expensive cabin refurbishments typically occur. However, global supply chain disruptions and significant delays in new aircraft deliveries have forced airlines to extend service life beyond original timelines. If you find yourself booked on an Emirates 777 with this setup, experienced travelers strongly recommend requesting rows 6 or 8 during online check-in, which offer additional privacy and legroom, as they're designated for passengers with infants or requiring special assistance. When herringbone goes wrong, the herringbone seating arrangement genuinely revolutionized business class design in the mid-2000s by cleverly maximizing privacy and creating fully flat beds within the limited cabin space of narrow-body aircraft. Most airlines strategically angle these seats toward the windows, giving passengers unobstructed views of clouds and horizons, while maintaining a sense of openness and connection to the outside world. However, Air New Zealand and Virgin Atlantic took an unconventional and somewhat controversial approach with their Boeing 777s, 787 Dreamliners, and Airbus A330-300 aircraft, facing seats inward, toward the cabin center instead of outward. This inward orientation means you essentially staring directly at your fellow passengers' faces and feet throughout the entire flight, with only minimal separation barriers providing any sense of personal space or privacy. The lack of privacy becomes particularly challenging when you are constantly aware of everyone around you in this somewhat awkward face-to-face arrangement throughout your journey. Interestingly, though, when fully reclined for sleep, the configuration actually works reasonably well since you're staring at the ceiling rather than at other passengers around you. The seats also offer an underrated advantage that fully closed suite designs completely lack. Your feet remain entirely unrestricted, without confining footwells, allowing completely natural sleep movement throughout the night. For those booking these flights, savvy and experienced travelers consistently choose side seats where permanent dividing walls provide significantly more privacy compared to the more exposed middle and right side positions, the angle flat nightmare. As business class evolved from recliners to flatbeds, some airlines got left behind with transitional designs satisfying nobody. Thai Airways operates certain Boeing 777-200s representing this awkward evolutionary middle ground. These veteran fleet planes feature ancient 222 configurations with angle flat seats attempting to provide sleeping surfaces, but falling dramatically short. The fundamental problem becomes apparent when trying to sleep. Your upper body lies relatively flat, but legs and feet slide downward into uncomfortable positions somewhere between sitting, sliding, and sleeping. Your body never relaxes because you're constantly fighting gravity, using muscle tension, preventing yourself from slipping forward throughout the night. These aircraft typically serve as backup planes, but occasionally deploy on longer routes when scheduling demands. Passengers expecting modern flatbed comfort experience rude awakenings discovering these aviation dinosaurs. The width problem nobody talks about. Modern aircraft design maximizes seats within limited fuselage space. Some newer business class configurations appear, offering 1-2-1 layouts with aisle access, but clever staggering actually packs 2-4-2 density. The visual trick works for cabin efficiency, but narrows individual seat widths considerably, creating surprisingly claustrophobic experiences. Turkish Airlines A350 and 787 demonstrate this trade-off perfectly. Seats look impressively private with full doors and complete enclosures suggesting luxurious space. However, footwell areas are severely constricted, and overall width forces taller passengers into uncomfortable positions on long flights. The psychological impact of narrow tube confinement becomes pronounced on ultra-long-haul routes exceeding 12 hours. Ironically, Turkish's older 777s with 232 configuration and zero privacy provide better sleep quality because seats are wider, straighter, and lack restrictive footwells. Innovation and excellence at 35,000 feet. Now let's shift our attention to airlines that truly understand business class excellence. Qatar Airways revolutionized the industry with their Q Suite, which transformed business class from mere transportation into a genuine luxury experience. The fully enclosed suites can even convert into quad configurations where families or colleagues can share space together. The next generation Q Suite unveiled at the Farnborough Air Show takes innovation even further, featuring removable television barriers that create unprecedented collaborative space, secure laptop compartments, personal safety drawers with customizable PIN codes, and wireless charging stations throughout. Japanese carriers have similarly pushed boundaries with remarkable innovations. All Nippon Airways introduced the Room, featuring some of the industry's widest business class seats, despite facing backward to maximize space efficiency. The width is so generous that two adults can comfortably sit side by side within a single suite. Japan Airlines responded with their Airbus A350-1000, featuring 54 fully enclosed square suites equipped with the world's first stereo-free headrest technology. Built-in speakers eliminate the need for headphones entirely, allowing passengers to enjoy movies and music in surround sound without wires or worrying about earbuds falling out during sleep. Air France, Cathay, Pacific, Malaysia Airlines, and Etihad have all recently introduced privacy doors to their latest configurations. Recognizing that modern premium travelers value personal space above almost everything else, we've explored the spectacular failures and extraordinary successes that truly define modern business class travel experiences worldwide. From two-tier Philippine Airlines configurations that completely defy spatial logic and conventional thinking, to Qatar's absolutely game-changing Q suites that have set entirely new industry standards for luxury and innovation. The sheer variety of experiences available at 35,000 feet is genuinely remarkable and constantly evolving. Airlines continue investing heavily in sophisticated seat design because they deeply understand that comfort becomes the ultimate competitive differentiator when flight times remain largely fixed by physics and regulations. As aviation technology continues advancing rapidly and global competition intensifies between carriers, we'll undoubtedly see even more groundbreaking innovations emerging in business-class cabins worldwide over the coming years. Some revolutionary designs will succeed brilliantly and become industry standards, while others will unfortunately join our growing haul of questionable designs and forgotten experiments. If you enjoyed this deep exploration into business-class seat design and engineering, and want to continue discovering more fascinating aviation insights and travel secrets, please subscribe to Mindcrafted, where we consistently unpack the compelling stories, brilliant engineering, and authentic human experiences behind modern travel. Share your own memorable business class experiences in the comments below. We genuinely read every single one.